Okay, welcome to Exercise Month. I'm chatting with Jennifer Yellin. Jennifer, do you want to tell us what you do? And then we'll talk about exercise.
Absolutely. Hi, Emily. Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Yellin Snyder, and I like to think I make people feel good or help them make themselves feel good. I am a movement coach, mindful movement. I've been teaching yoga and Pilates for over 20 years, and my most recent accomplishment is as a precision nutrition level 1 coach. So I look forward to adding that on. And I just am so blessed to marry so much of my own personal interest with what I do for work, which also includes meditation and energy healing and, and the movement itself. I just can't live without it.
Awesome. I mean, yeah, you've literally nailed it there. Our bodies are designed to move, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, the locomotive aspects of our body is brilliant. It's a brilliant machine, levies and pulleys between the muscles and the joints and the bones that hold us up. I just find it really miraculous every time I teach a functional anatomy course. And so I have a real appreciation for that. And also just the idea that we need to get our blood and oxygen circulating. That's how things move. And generally, another brilliant aspect of our body is that it releases lubricants when we do move. So when we feel stiff and as we get older, dealing with arthritis and the lack of estrogen at this point in life, it helps to release those synovial fluids. So it's a brilliant machine, and it's meant to move. Plus, when you hear good music, you just got to move in some way.
Yeah.
That's another blessing. We just feel the desire to move.
So I know a lot of people, when they come into perimenopause, maybe they've been quite active before their hormones started changing, and maybe now they just feel tired and kind of overwhelmed, and motivation can really just take a nosedive, can't it?
Definitely, because, and you could probably relate to this, the intensity to what you were used to doing and what you think is the only way to exercise or to be effective feels like a mountain to climb. And I often, and I'm dealing with a lot of this now with some clients I'm working with, is their motivation is completely shot because of that expectation. In addition, they don't know really where to start again. What does that look like? And so it's really a rebirth when it comes to moving their body. And I also shy away from just using movement as exercise. I just use it as a stress relief, way to get that oxygen in our body, enjoy nature, release tension, anxiety, interact with people. And by people, I mean my dog and my husband. A lot of the time, we just, put on music and dance. So it has so many deep health aspects to it that I feel it's a shame to not move at all because you feel so overwhelmed and you end up doing nothing.
Yeah.
And it all counts. It all counts. And I want us all to feel like we're moving because it's going to keep us feeling unstoppable. And we have stuff to do, we have ish to do. And we want to feel the energy to slay those dragons. And in 10 years or so, many people are going to have grandkids, or they're going to want to keep working, and they need the energy and the focus and the ease to do that. So I don't really look at exercise the way most people do. I look at it as a means to an end a lot of the time.
Yeah, and I think that's a really nice way to sort of shift the focus, because through our 20s and 30s we go to all these like high intensity exercise classes, or we run, or we do whatever, and it's all very go go go, isn't it? And then suddenly it's like, whoa, my body's not with me now, excuse me.
Isn't it?
And yeah, it's as much something that mindset shift as it, before it's even the change in how you move.
Yes, I recently put this on the Facebook world, but there are a lot of ways to look at progress. It's not just numerical, what a number on a scale says or the tape measure. It can just be showing up. So I currently have a client, we call it Papa Squat. She gets up in the morning, and all we're working on at this point, she wants to add more movement as part of her life, is to go into her spare bedroom, which we made her yoga room. She hasn't done any yoga yet, but she set up a yoga mat. That was 1 week. And then the next week, I said, okay, just go in there and sit. And what I know is going to start to happen is she's going to either use that time to do more mindful thinking or maybe reading. And eventually she's going to say, okay, I want to move. So maybe I'll just stretch, and it's going to start to feel good. So it may not happen in a super fast way, but we're going to make a lasting change for her. And she's already looking forward to her Papa Squat time. And I know that's going to lead to other things.
And that's such a nice way to look at it. And it's how I work with clients as well, is this idea that it doesn't need to be all or nothing. It's about making those incremental changes that you'll then stick to, which, and whether it's doing, I don't know, walking for 5 minutes when you didn't walk for 5 minutes yesterday, whether it's dancing to one extra song, whether it's drinking an extra glass of water, whatever, it's those little things that make such a difference. And it's not kind of going, right, well, I guess I'll sign up for a marathon because then I'll have to move. It's like, whoa, no, too much. It's just,
well, there's different approaches. There's not one way that works for everybody.
no.
And there's the extrinsic motivation. So it's someone where the likeliness of them running a half marathon or a 5K when they've never done it is likely, like out of a 1 to 10 scale, maybe a 9 or 10, because they're already in a pretty good rhythm with other type of activity, and they look at this as an up-leveling challenge. Whereas someone who hasn't moved in years, or it's never been anything that they've had to worry about, or maybe they've just walked, signing up for a 5K might be overwhelming, but it's not impossible, obviously, but that's an extrinsic motivation. Whereas someone who says, I've always been the type of person where weight just didn't stick on me and I had no reason to exercise, I never noticed that I was low in energy, their motivation is, I don't like feeling drained, I don't like feeling depleted, I want to be the type of person who wakes up in the morning feeling excited about the day. And if exercise or movement of any type is going to help me feel more excited, then that's the type of person I want to be. And so now they have an intrinsic motivation.
Yeah. And we're all motivated differently, aren't we? There's someone I know who she's entirely motivated by entering races and getting medals. And that just simply isn't, like, don't get me wrong, I love something shiny at the end of, when I've achieved something. But that's never, my motivation has always been, does this make me feel better? Does this make me happy? And we are all different in that.
Absolutely. I actually had a lot of perimenopause symptoms before I was actually in perimenopause. A lot of what people talk about, I relate to when I had fibroids, and my hormones were definitely going crazy. And I hate feeling exhausted. And I remember that I didn't want to move, but what would get me moving is the way I would feel after. And I would make a point to really make myself aware and take note of how I felt after I did something active. And it felt so good that feeling, I wanted it again. That's what got me up and going. And on certain days, I actually have watched your last two interviews, And there's such brilliant tie-ins, lead-ins to today. And yesterday, I think you had an interview, and she was talking about aligning with your cycle. You know, sometimes your body is going to say, absolutely not. The
Yeah.
best you could do is rest. And sometimes it's going to say, I think, you know, we can do more. We can use our time a little more productively. We're going to feel better for it. And you start to hear voices in your head saying, yeah,
Yeah,
let's
today's a good day, or today's, and the thing
feel
is,
better.
it's having, I guess, that kind of toolkit, isn't it? Of like, okay, on a good day, there's a route that I really enjoy going and walking, and I walk it quite briskly, or that's where I like to go and run. But on a low energy day, here's my set of stretches or a gentle yoga thing that I like doing. And actually, we can still get the same output of the happy feeling and all the rest of it, because we've still done something.
Yeah, that is key, is to be prepared, to plan for what you know is going to come up, and then make it a priority. That is a basic foundational habit that I believe will help everybody. And in addition, I think sometimes we can plan to say, let me see what I can find on YouTube, and, you know, what that is a gentle yoga or a gentle Pilates workout. If you just want to throw caution to the wind because that seems fun to you. And I also encourage people to do things that feel enjoyable, because if we're doing what we think we should do, then most likely we're not going to last, and it's not going to become part of our habit that of change that we're looking for. And there's no wrong or right. Maybe it's a bar class, maybe it's kickboxing, and maybe it's yoga or Pilates. And you know, those are things I love, but I don't always feel like doing it because I teach it all the time. And sometimes I want something different. And part of the fun is seeing what else is out there. I recently found African dance I could do in my living room. So I can look as crazy as I like, you know, flailing my arms. You know, they look beautiful on screen. I probably look crazy, but it's so much fun. And, you know, and that makes it something I look forward to. I give myself those days, and I encourage everyone to have a day where you just explore and learn something new, and maybe that will become a new passion.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
My pleasure, and have a wonderful rest of your week, and happy Valentine's.